So this video, we're just going to gist you guys about our wedding night
night.
and how it was, what went down, things we learned from it,
Yeah.
things you can learn also,
So that your wedding night will be better than our wedding night. Hopefully. It wasn't bad, but yeah, yours can be better.
Yes.
That's the purpose of this video.
That's what
Okay.
So our wedding night was. Let me just start.
Let me just start by saying, let me just put this out there that I want all of you to know that wedding stress transfers to the wedding night.
Wedding stress is real, guys. Like it
very
is
real. Yeah.
It's very real because there's so much going on that day, throughout the entire day. You're the center of attention, and everybody wants to take pictures with you. Everybody wants to do stuff with you. Everybody wants to do stuff. Everybody, they just want to be in the center of attention.
So it's very stressful. In fact, taking pictures alone, you might feel like, taking pictures is a lot of fun. I mean, just pose in my white dress and my suit. When the whole world is like, come and take picture. Uncle this has not taken picture. Yeah, picture. At some point, I was just exhausted. I was just like, Joshua, please, let's just run away. Let's run. We literally ran from our wedding venue because we were just exhausted.
Yeah. And sometimes some things may not go as you plan them to go. So you might be disappointed, and it might just be it might be carried over to your wedding night. Yeah. So just there are so many wedding night expectations that people have in their mind, and sometimes it doesn't go as well as you want. As anything that has to do with people goes.
Yeah, because you can't control people. How people will be on your wedding day and certain things that people will do. So a lot of times I feel when we're planning for our wedding night, we don't factor in the stress of the wedding. We're just like, it's just going to go down
That's what we're thinking about.
So just bear in mind that you might be really tired. Yes. And because you're really tired, it's important to just relax.
That's
you have the rest of your life to
it's very important for that. Yeah.
So I think actually our wedding night, I was pretty stressed, and we had a dinner, and some stuff went down at our wedding dinner that I wasn't so happy with. So I even cried that evening and all that. So by the time we left the dinner and went to our hotel room, I wasn't so excited. But then got to our hotel room, it was so beautiful. My mother-in-law, my sisters-in-law, they had planned beautiful surprise in our hotel room, beautiful bed, roses, candles, very romantic wine, very romantic atmosphere. And I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I'm finally married. And then we got into the room, and we decided to both shower first, which will help us both. We felt to help us both relax. So, and then that was when realization sort of hits me that, okay, I'm married now, and I'm going to undress in front of a man. That is my husband. You want to go on?
No, you can go on. Okay, so like it was my entire mindset during that period was just to make sure she was okay, because the entire wedding stress and disappointments during the dinner and all of that, it just was really a lot on her. So all I thought about was, okay, how can she be okay? I wasn't even thinking about myself. I was just thinking about, okay, how can she be relaxed? How can I make it fun for her? How can we just gist and stuff? So why I even went to the bathroom to. So
okay, let me continue. So Joshua said we're both going to shower that evening. So I just thought we were going to shower separately. Like that was my first night of marriage. I mean, the reality of being married had not dawned on me. So when I went to the bathroom and then he followed me, I was almost like, why are you following me? Please, can you excuse me? I want to bath. I'm like, okay, he's my husband. Oh, fine, okay. So he followed me, and then I wanted to undress, and then I was so shy. I'm like, oh my God. I was so shy. I'm like, I have to undress in front of him.
I'm going to stay there and watch.
Joshua wasn't even shy, of course. He was so excited to watch me take off my clothes.
Yes, I was very excited.
Entails. So I took off my clothes, and Joshua watched me shower, which I was very shy, but he did and all. I was like, anyway, I still think about it. I was so shy. I was like, he's watching me bath, but he enjoyed it. And while watching me bath, he commented, and it just made me feel good and great. So I think I would recommend that for couples, that on your wedding night, you can shower together, take a shower before anything goes down.
Yeah, like let me just say this. My idea of us showering together was us entering the bathroom together, what are we speaking and not to be holding each other.
Like in the movies, you know.
But then I just realized, she's really like she's a little bit shy.
So if just imagine watching him, having him watch me alone made me pretty uncomfortable. Just imagine him jumping into the tub with me. It would have just been like.
So I had to alter my
expectations
and my imagination. So I just had to just watch her. So I just sat down there and we were talking. And
that made me relax.
Yeah, so I just watched her shower, and after she finished showering, I showered.
And I don't remember if I watched that.
No, you didn't watch. You watch. Anyway, so you went to this, and I came to meet you, and we just laid down. We gisted for a long time.
Spoke about the wedding, what went down that we enjoyed, what we didn't like, what we hoped would have been better. We just spoke about the wedding, and after we spoke for a long time, it helped me to relax. I think it helped both of us.
Yes, it did. We ordered food safe.
Yeah.
And then we ate and stuff. So,
okay. So now,
were you nervous?
Was I nervous?
About like
first sex? I was nervous because I hadn't had sex before. I was a virgin now, and Joshua has destroyed that part of me. Yeah, no longer a virgin. Okay, thank you. That's not what it's about. So I was nervous because I had heard that first sex is painful, and
Wakanda.
I said enough. Okay. Oh my God. So I was nervous. I had heard that the first sex could be painful, so I really didn't know what to expect, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be painful. Am I going to enjoy it? So I was sort of nervous, but Joshua tried to calm me down and say, just relax. I'm going to be as gentle as possible. And during premarital counseling, they had spoken to us about sex as well.
Yeah.
So if you have not watched that video on premarital counseling, please click the link here and watch it. So during premarital counseling, I remember Joshua asking a question about how to sex the first time, because it was going to be first time for me and not his first time. So how should we handle that? And they gave us so much details about how to
the couple who asked that question was they were both doctors.
Yes.
Yeah. So I saved the question for them. They were both doctors.
We can say their names.
Yes.
Auntie Esther and Uncle Bash.
We love you guys.
Dr. Esther Ismaila and Dr. Bashir. We love you guys so much.
So, doing the premarital counseling with them, I asked the question because I didn't want a situation whereby, as a guy, you can enjoy yourself and then you won't care about the girl and your wife, and then she will not really enjoy herself, and that's not nice. So I wanted a situation whereby I'll not be the only one who has fun that night. So I asked the question to enable us both enjoy each other and for her to be relaxed during that period also.
Yeah,
so that's why I asked the question.
And the fact that Joshua asked that question during our counseling even touched me, because it made me see that he wasn't selfish. He was concerned about how not to hurt me, how our first sexual experience would be good for me as well. And we're going to share some of the tips that they gave us. So I remember Uncle Bash saying we should use a lubricant called KY jelly. So KY jelly helps because usually what causes pain, what adds to the pain for the woman is when the lubrication is not enough. So having an additional lubricant helps.
Can help, yeah.
Yes, and that particular brand is good.
And one of the most important things I realized was the fact that as much as we were celibates during our relationship and I was waiting for it to happen, more important is that I love Opeyemi and I don't want her to be hurt. So my desire took the back seat and just making sure she was okay took the front seat. So that's very important for guys out there. You've waited this long. 1 more night is not a problem. A few more hours, taking it slow, not losing yourself and rushing stuff is very important. Yeah.
And be gentle.
Yes.
This is very important for guys. Be gentle. As much as you love her, place her desires first and be gentle. Yeah. It takes us ladies, I think, some time to warm up to it, especially if it's her first time. Yeah. So you have to try to be as gentle as possible. You can't be concerned about just pleasing yourself that night. Yeah. Remember, this is your wife forever, and you don't want your first sexual experience to be selfish. Yes.
So for me, I was nervous too, but for different reasons. Because before I got saved, I was sexually active and stuff. So I thought I knew what sex was, but getting to become saved and understanding who God is, I realized God will not make anything that is selfish. So everything he makes, everything that he takes pride in will be selfless, something that you will give. So I had to throw away all the ideas I had about sex out the window. So it's as if I was clueless about what sex was. I had never had sex as a believer, understanding God's principles. So it was just, I was just like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Do you understand? And there's this idea that, because you've had previous sexual experiences, you can apply those experiences to the person you want to have sex with now or get married to. And that's wrong, because everybody's body is different. Do you understand? It's a whole different thing. So you have to learn the person's body and understand it, and then try and give the person pleasure for that moment and stuff. So I was nervous about all those reasons, and I was celibate for like 2 years after I got saved for 2 years, and then I got married. So within those 2 years, like I had just like sex was not even in my head again. So like I was like, how more? To the point that how will I even know where to put it? Anyway, no, I'm just joking.
Yeah, he's obviously joking.
I'm just joking anyway. But then I was just nervous about that, and I did not want to hurt her. Also, I didn't want it to be painful. I didn't want her first sexual experience to be awful.
So let me just say that my first sexual experience wasn't awful. Joshua did a great job. He was slow. He was patient. It wasn't painful for me. I can't even say that much. So, but let me say one thing here. I think based on movies and all that, I thought our first sexual experience would be explosive. Like, oh my God, I'm going to see the moon, stars, the entire galaxy, and every other thing that God has created will just be flashing past those lights. That moment.
There's that expectation.
There's that expectation people have. So, don't expect your first night to be your best. That you are two people. Everything that is great is learned.
Yes, everything that is
like even sex. I would say sex is a skill in marriage
that you have to perfect.
Yeah. So as you do it, the more you do it, it gets better. So don't expect it to be the best the first time. It can be good, but just know that your first sex is not your best sex. It will get better.
You're
the more you understand each other's bodies.
It's like riding a bicycle. Your first try is not amazing because you don't understand it yet. You have not put into practice yet. So as the more you put into practice, the better you become, the more skilled you become, and stuff like that.
So the more you have sex, the more you understand each other's bodies, the more you communicate and guide each other as to what to do to please each other, sex will get better. So sex gets better with time, with communication, and with understanding. So and also communicating on your first night too is important. Ask, are you enjoying this? Does it hurt you? Is there anything you want me to do? So just communicate on your first night. It's also important.
Because you have to start your journey on understanding each other's body that first night.
Yeah.
So that it will keep getting better. If you just do it, you don't talk about it, you just leave it and go, and you don't say anything, it will regress.
Yes. So afterward, you can talk about it as well. What could we have done better?
Yes, what could I have done better?
I know you might be shy, but it's important to talk about it.
Yes, it's very important. And also, it was wonderful. Like I really thinking about it now. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just that first night of us sleeping on the same bed, practically naked, just holding each other and just talking till we slept off, waking up. I think I woke up before you. I was just looking at you and stuff like. That entire experience was just really, really, I cherished it a lot, and the whole excitement on us going for our honeymoon, like everything was just really nice. I enjoyed it.
Thinking back, I'm glad it was great, and I just want to say, if your first sex is not so great, don't be disappointed. It only gets better. Better. I can say our sex now is like so much better.
Like fine wine, it gets better with time.
Wow, I had to snap because before Joshua complained that I didn't snap. But well, thank you. It's good.
Guys, my rap name is T.
My God, I think we should just end the video on this note. Joshua has just killed everything for me. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
We love you guys.